Good morning, everyone. Very happy to be here. I actually came from Melbourne, but I'm not new to Brisbane. I used to work here for 1.5 years. Yeah. Do you guys still remember Queensland Motorways? When Transurban bought Queensland Motorways, I did the contract job with Transurban. That's where I spent 1.5 years here. So very happy to be here. So good to be like back home. Okay. My topic is about locking down GKE, secure your containers. But the open source tool, it's called KubeArmor, can be used for any Kubernetes. Can be running on premises, can be running on other cloud. But since we all love Google Cloud, right? So we will use GKE as an example to demonstrate how to lock down your GKE. On the screen, you might notice some of the, let's see. Okay, let me get back. Just give me 1 second. Let me. I need my click works. Just give me 1 second. All right, we're back. Hopefully it just work. Does that work? No. Oh, come on. Let's leave it for now. Okay, I put together like 100+ slides, but I'm not going to talk about all of these. I know you guys are hungry. If you scan the QR code, you can find all the slides. Also in the lockdown mode, okay? Okay, so I put together all the slides. I'm not going to talk all of the slides. Instead, I'm going to focus on to demonstrate to you how to spin up a GKE cluster. Anyone not hold of Kubernetes? Are you guys using GKE? No? Never seen? So let's start, the demo first. How to create a GKE cluster. Guess what? It only takes like 5-6 minutes. Let's do it now, okay? Before I even introduce myself. Actually, let me introduce myself first. Okay, who am I? My name is Yongkang He. I consider myself as a multi-cloud guy, as a community builder, as a Google developer expert. So as you can see, I'm literally part of all the cloud community. Well, not every cloud are created equal, okay? I love Google Cloud. You can see I'm a Google GD. I did not renew my Microsoft MVP. Okay, because I love Google. Okay, I also, love Kubernetes. I'm actually one of the very first, I would say, I'm technically the first fully certified on Kubernetes globally. Anyone heard of the KubeArmor thing? KubeArmor? So the blue jacket? Never seen it? So once you pass all 5 Kubernetes certification, you can get the KubeArmor blue jacket, which is pretty cool. I love it. Okay, but same thing. I don't want to renew every certification. I personally say, the renewal makes less sense and adds less value. So when it expires, just keep it expire. Unless it's free. When it's free, why not? Let's do it. Okay, I did a lot of talking about myself. And guess what? Do you guys know who is running the largest Kubernetes cluster? So this is just showing you, I love multi-cloud. I did most of the certification across all different cloud. I love to collect the digital badges. I love to collect the jacket. Do you guys like the blue one or golden? I really hope, Google also introduced some jacket, but they didn't. Anyway, so the question, who is running the largest Kubernetes cluster? That's Kesuga.ai. So that's the community I created 3 years ago. So we got like 180,000 nodes. And where are the nodes? So you can see we have 6 largest node pool or node groups. Anyone is part of our cluster? No? You should scan the QR code. Another QR code. Also surprise giveaways, okay? Seriously, I want to, I didn't make money. I'm making impact. So I grew the community 3 years. So we got 180,000 members, part of our community, join us to learn, to get certified on anything, cloud, Kubernetes. So one very important thing, the certification is so expensive. So like a Google, $200 for each exam. So I'm giving away the free or 50% of this code. Yeah, scan the QR code, you can find more information. So we talk about the Kubernetes GKE. Let's spin up a cluster now. Can you guys see it? Okay. So how to spin up a cluster? I make life easier. Even before the AI coding thing happening. Okay, that's like a few years ago. I created the open source code. Yeah, you can find it from our GitHub page. So where it is? So again, I want to show off, our landing page. So everything is in our landing page. Okay. So if you click the link tree, I love a link tree. So you can find all the slides here. Okay. So if you click this link, you can find the slides. It's in the read-only mode. And I'm not going to talk about this. What I'm going to show you is from here. Lots of the information here. You can have a look. I'm going to show you where the GitHub. So that's our GitHub page. So you might notice only 32, followers. Yeah, that's the one I shifted from my personal one to this one. See, my personal one already have like almost 300 followers. So my favorite, again, Google GKE is my favorite. So you can see here, I focused from my personal repository here. I already got like a 20, and plus another one also 20 stars. So how to spin up a GKE cluster? If you look at the lots of information here, basically you just run the one command. It's called GKE-deploy. You can spin up a GKE cluster in like a few minutes. Let's do it. So while we are waiting, let's talk about the container security. Yeah, first of all, we need to have a GKE cluster before we can see how you can lock it down, okay? Let's hope it just works, okay? So now, if you're interested to see how it really works, you can find all the code here. So all the code I put together, yeah, basically all of these I created like a few years ago. But yesterday, before my flight here, it got delayed a little bit, so I was just review, make sure it is working. So that's why you can see updated like 18 hours ago. So basically just one command, you can spin up a GKE cluster. So while we're waiting here, let's continue. I come back to the slide. Where is my slide? Okay. So I might skip a little bit here. Let's see. Yes, some of these I put together just trying to help more people for the loading certification. You want to join the events, you don't want to spend too much money. You want to scan? Yes. If you got the previous code, you got everything, okay? And we are going to give away one code cloud access. So that's they are my sponsor, supporting our community. So for anyone never heard of this, Code Cloud is the best learning platform for the Kubernetes for DevOps. Most of our friends, they get certified using the platform to learn to get CKA certified or CKID, CKS, etc. So we're going to give away one access. And also they give our community some special discount code here. So now let's talk about the container runtime security. How you can leverage the open source tool KubeArmor to lock down your Kubernetes containers. You don't want everyone can access your files, everyone can read your secrets, your tokens, can open up a new network ports, etc. The KubeArmor, it's a open source It was created by a company called Equinox and then donated to CNCF as an open source project. And you can find more information here. Basically, it's a runtime security enforcement engine, being able to leverage the eBPF and also Linux security module, LSM, to secure your workloads, can be running on containers, can be running on IoT edge devices or 5G network, etc. The idea behind this is leverage the LSM module, leverage eBPF for the monitoring, for the observability, and then leverage the LSM or BPF or LSM to enforce the security, to lock down the containers. So on the screen, you can also see how it works. So for Kubernetes containers, it can work as a daemon set. For other Linux machines, it can work as a systemd process. So you might also notice so far there is 1.2 million plus times the download of the open source tool. Okay, has anyone actually tried this? No, never tried. It's pretty cool, yeah. I don't like to type the command. I make it super fast. I create an automation. Just run one command to deploy to any of your Kubernetes clusters. Yeah, let's see if the cluster is ready yet. We close this. It's still running. So we will continue a little bit here. So what's the unique difference comes from the KubeArmor. So there are a lot of the container security tools, runtime security tools. I don't know how many you guys hold of, but different category. So on the left-hand side, you can see KubeArmor leverage the eBPF for the observability and then apply the enforcement using the LSM modules or AppArmor or BPF LSM or SE Linux. So the main difference you can see from the screen, one is inline protection, prevention. The other one is a post-attack mitigation. So the main difference is, for example, like the vendor A, vendor B, vendor C listed here, all of them are using the eBPF. So where you can detect the problems, monitor much faster, much quicker. But the things how to take action, how to prevent it happening is different. So when you detect that there is someone is attacking my system, okay, we discovered that. Let's kill the processor from a user space. It works, but it's too late. Even a few seconds, your secrets might already be stolen. Your things already expired, exposed to the hacker. That's too late. And the same thing for the vendor B, vendor C. They might stop your containers or kill the process like vendor C from the kernel space, which is a little bit faster, but still the same thing. It's post-attack, mitigation, which is not as effective as the inline prevention. So how the KubeArmor works with the observability, it will monitor what the process you should running, what files normally your processes need. The network policy should keep it open. And then it can be applied the zero trust policy here, lock down the rest. Only allow certain process, certain files in certain network ports are open. And then it will be more secure rather than a post-attack mitigation. Does that make sense? Any question? So hopefully the cluster is up running now. Yeah, pretty cool. 6 minutes, the cluster is up running. Let me see. So for the testing purpose, I only spin up a one node cluster, the latest cluster, 1.33.5. So now what we can do is I want to deploy KubeArmor. Yeah, if you want to check back the GitHub repository here, literally just one command. Okay, I put together KubeArmor deploy. So we will deploy a KubeArmor to your cluster. So as I say, I put all of this in the slides so you can read it later. Yeah, but I just want to rush to demonstrate how it works. So again, in a few seconds, you will see the process, the deployment daemon sets will be up running from your Kubernetes cluster. So let's say if it's running yet. You might notice there is a new namespace. It's called Yong-KubeArmor. So that's the KubeArmor processor I installed to this namespace. If you check the details, get port. Yeah, you can see a couple of process is up running here. So including the operator for the self cycle manage the whole, application, and also the controller. That's the control plane of the KubeArmor. That's where you apply the policy to each of the nodes. There is another process. It's running as a BPF container D. It's a daemon set running from your containers. Okay. So now, how to demonstrate it works? It actually works. So I put together. There is a document here. It's called KubeArmor testing guide. Okay. If I copy the first line, I also deployed a sample application called Nginx. Basically just a web app to demonstrate how you can lock down the containers. So first of all, let me get the pod name. So I got the pod name here. Now let me try to install the package to see if it works. That's before I apply the lockdown. Okay. It works. You can install the application, right? I'm not going to let it install. So I cancel it. Now let's apply the policy. So how to apply policy? Basically, it's a YAML file you can define. So I also include in the slides how the YAML file looks like. So you can check it later. So I'm going to apply the policy. Basically, it's a Kubernetes YAML file. You apply the policy. And then once you apply the policy, did I press? Okay. You can see the policy already applied. If you want to verify, you can get to check the policy. Now, let's try the command again. Let's see if we can package. No, can you guys say permission denied? So that's one type of a lockdown. A lockdown the containers, not allowing anyone to run any other processes. So if you're interested to see how the policy looks like, by including some more information like support metrics and the architecture, how it looks like, and you can even streaming the logs to integrate with other SIEM tools, for example, Splunk, Grafana, for Azure Sentinel, etc. So let me jump to here. So that's the deny execution, the YAML file. How you deny someone to run any command. So in this case, we only deny apt and apt get command. So you're not able to run the process. To literally, you can apply, select any application you want to block. Does that make sense? So I got quite a few more. If you got time, I can show you more test use case. So here is another one. You want to deny the access to service account token. So again, there is a YAML file listed here. The action is a block and a match directory, which file you want to match. So let's try this. So the next, in the meantime, if you want to open another tab, you actually can monitor the logs. The logs also captured by, because of the policy violation, it will be showing in the logs as well. Not only showing in the command line, like the permission field, permission denied. Okay, let's continue this one. The second use case, let's say I want to execute into the container, and I'm going to see if I can check the access the service account token. Yeah, looks like it works. So now let's apply the policy. This is another policy. No, I need to exit from all the container inside of the containers. Okay. So now I'm going to apply the policy here. If I do the same command again, not this one. Okay, I'm inside of the containers. So let's say I want to check the service account token. Yeah, you should be able to see forbidden, denied as well. Any questions so far? Good. So the next one, what we can do is, so this is just the deny service account token and also deny block any particular process. The other thing is sometimes, for example, the Nginx application, you want to allow people to access certain files, certain directories. So that's where you can also have the audit access to certain folders or paths. So this is another example. You want to audit /etc Nginx. So you just here is another thing. You need to turn on the file visibility. By default, it's disabled. So basically, it's just an annotation. You add the annotation, and then you can apply the policy. So let's continue the demonstration here. So the next one, we are going to add the annotation here to turn on the file visibility. Oh, I always forgot. I'm inside of the containers. Let me exit first. Okay. Yeah, if you don't want to verify, you just run the -o file. You can find the details. So now I'm going to apply the audit policy. Okay, the audit policy also applied. So now let's try to see if we can access /nginx. Yeah, let me open another tab. So the reason is I want to use the logs, check the logs. Okay, now the logs, it will, when you detect any violation, it will be pop up here. Okay, so now let's apply. Oh, did I already apply it? Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, now let's try to access the file. You can see you can access the file, but we also audit. We will monitor. We know someone is accessed the file. Okay. Yeah, you can see from all the logs, you can see someone is accessed /etc nginx /nginx config file. So if we continue here, so the last test case I want to show you here is how you apply the zero trust. So basically, you want to lock down everything, only allow the particular application which is you need to open. So if you look at the policy here is the API versions, kind, the metadata, the process, which process you want to allow, because you want to allow Nginx application, you need to allow the /user /sbin/Nginx in the path /bin bash. It's allow. So let's apply the the same thing. We also need to. So let me apply the policy now. And you might also notice by default, the secure posture is set to audit. So we need to change the secure policy to default deny. So that becomes a zero trust. Only the process, the files you listed are allowed. So we're going to override the security posture here. Yeah, it has been done. Now, if you try to access, let's say I want to run the command password. Permission denied. Yeah, any question here? So this is how you can easily to lock down your containers. Only allow certain files, certain processes, or certain network port. I only talk about a demonstrate a little bit, a tip of the iceberg, but you can explore a little bit more. So if I come back here, so the YAML file you can see here, and how you can verify the Nginx is still accessible. So basically, yeah, that's why I love Google Cloud. Once you run the pod, there is another command I haven't copied here. So if you want to verify if your application is still running, you can use the port forward running from a Google Cloud. Google Cloud Shell, and once it's running, now you can preview. Do you guys understand? Can you guys see there is a preview? You can preview the web page. You can see my Nginx is still accessible. Yeah, welcome to Nginx application page. I don't have anything inside. Basically, just a dummy, Nginx web app. This is basically demonstrate how you can lock down your containers. So running on GKE cluster. GKE is my favorite, but it can be the same technology can be used for, it's open source, can be used for any other Kubernetes clusters. Unless you guys have any other questions. Otherwise, here is more information. If you want to learn a little bit more, previously I did record a few videos about talk about more details about the KubeArmor, about how to lock down the KubeArmor. And it's an open source. You can find it. I put my link, the installation, how to spin up a GKE cluster, how to deploy KubeArmor to your cluster. And also, you can feel free to join our community. Okay. Which I'd love to have more people join our community to learn, to help the rest, to lift the rest. And tomorrow, I'm still here. Yeah, I copied the idea from one of my friend in Melbourne, tech walking. So tomorrow I got some time. I'm going to have a walk around the what is called City Botanical Garden, and then cross the bridge. What's the bridge called? A Goodwill Bridge, and then South Bank, Parkland, and come back from a Victoria Bridge. I will spend about 2 hours to walk around. If you guys want to join me, yeah, feel free. Yeah, it's a free networking or tech walking event. You can ask me anything, how to get certified on Google Cloud, okay? Or maybe you want to ask me how to become a Google GDE. And quite a few of our GDE friends are here. And I don't have anything else. Yeah, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer the questions. Otherwise, we should be able to have more time for the lunch.